What's up guys, Rapsky here with another Halo Infinite video. So the radio silence has finally been broken, and in the July 2021 Inside Infinite blog, we got a lot of new information regarding the first Halo Infinite flight, like 4v4 against bots, weapon drills, what we can expect as far as build quality and features, and finally, when we might be able to play this game. But before we get into that, be sure to hit like and subscribe if you're hyped for Halo Infinite. But now, let's see what 343 has to say about the first Infinite flight. So first off, 343 makes it pretty clear that they want to lower our expectations for this flight, or rather they want to make sure we clearly understand what we're getting ourselves into. They say that the flight will not be an alpha or a beta per se, but really something that's going to be in between. It's a technical preview, quote unquote. A small slice of the game that's designed to test out the back-end systems and make sure everything is communicating and functioning as intended on a large scale. So this is going to include things like matchmaking, menu bugs, battle pass progression, the new Waypoint app for checking your stats and customization, and everything else really. So this build is a few months older than what is currently at the studio now, simply because it takes a while to jump through all the hoops that are required before actually publicly publishing a build. So 343 is upfront, and they acknowledge that the build is rough around the edges, and it's very possible that the game will crash and will freeze. But really, that is the whole point of this flight, to catch all this stuff and iron it out before the official launch of the game. So another very important thing to note is that just because you're signed up for the Insider program, that does not guarantee that you're going to get in. 343 is going to be prioritizing players who have been in the Insider program for a longer amount of time and that have certain hardware specs that are going to get priority. Now, not getting into every flight is not anything new. I mean, this has pretty much been the case since the Insider program started back when Reach was coming to MCC and PC. So there are going to be multiple flights, which means there will be multiple opportunities to get in. So try not to get too bummed if you don't get in this time. And I'm going to try myself, if I don't get in, I'm going to try not to cry myself to sleep. But so also 343 is legitimately looking for feedback during this flight. This isn't like a marketing thing to get people hype about the game. Well, I mean, it is kind of, but it's not really the main focus of the preview. So it is really important that you actually give your feedback if you do get in. So like if you find a bug or see something you don't like or have any suggestions, definitely you want to make sure that you let 343 know about that. They do know about bugs and certain issues already, and they will actually have a list of all the stuff that they know about. But if you do find anything new, you'll definitely want to let them know. So they will actually have an exclusive site set up for insiders that can give feedback. But 343 is also going to be looking at stuff like Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Reddit, all that kind of stuff for feedback, and they'll be actively analyzing that and put it in different piles. So people who are kind of so-so on stuff, or they're negatively reacting or positively reacting, they're going to put them in different piles and react accordingly to that at their studio. So with all that being said, let's now get into the fun stuff and talk about what we'll be able to play and do in the first Halo Infinite flight. So the first thing is actually weapon drills. So there are going to be a series of weapon drills in the flight for a few of the weapons. So we have the MA40 AR, or basically the AR, the BR75, the BR, the MK50 Sidekick, the pistol, the CQS48 Bulldog, which is the drum barrel looking shotgun that we've seen, the Needler, the Commando, the Sniper, the Plasma Pistol, Pulse Carbine, Ravager, the Skewer, and a new weapon that I've not actually seen mentioned anywhere is the Heat Wave. So I'm thinking like maybe this is that Forerunner looking weapon that we've seen that's like ricocheting off walls and stuff. We don't actually know what that's called. Maybe that's the Heat Wave. I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you think. So they also mentioned comparing weapon drill scores at 343, so that's pretty cool. So it'd actually be really cool to kind of compete against other people in the community or with your friends to see who can get the best scores or whatever. But that's a really interesting and cool way to test out the new weapons, because that is something that has never been done before in Halo. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying out the weapon drills. So the next thing we'll be able to check out is customization. So 343 mentions there will be a small selection of customization options that we'll be able to use credits, just like in Reach, to purchase and equip unlocks. We'll even be able to do this with stuff in the new Waypoint VNext app on iOS or Android. So we'll get to try out customizing our Spartans and checking out stats and stuff on our phone, which is sick. They're going to be keeping it a very small pool of stuff and keeping a lot of other stuff secret for the final release of the game. So that is actually really cool. I do like that, like keeping a lot of stuff hidden behind the curtains for the final release. I am down for that. So, and it should be noted as well that none of this stuff that you unlock is actually going to carry over to the main game as well, just so you know. So, finally, the last thing and the biggest thing really that we're going to be able to check out is the bot arena. So, 343 said this here. So, Halo Infinite is the franchise's first foray into the world of multiplayer bots. To provide a totally new multiplayer experience for players and to gather feedback on bot behavior and online performance, we'll be debuting the Bot Arena playlist, which puts 4 players against 4 bots on arena maps. For this technical preview, the Bot Arena experience will feature Bot Slayer on Bazaar, Recharge, and Livefire. To keep players on their toes and keep the experience engaging, we're planning for a daily content offering that will evolve over the course of the flight based on the overall engagement of participants. We're going to intentionally start things off slow to help everyone get acclimated, but as the community gets up to speed and slays copious amounts of bots, our goal is to crank things up and to provide greater challenge and variety. Bot Arena is a great place to familiarize yourself with Halo Infinite's gameplay and maps in a stress-free environment. The bots still have their quirks, which is why we're fighting them, but they certainly aren't pushovers. Be prepared. So while we're on the subject of bots, Joe Staten actually mentioned some pretty cool things to say about how bots will function on different difficulties. So let's actually see what he has to say here. So he says, bots come in 4 flavors: Recruit, Marine, ODST, and Spartan, with each level representing an increase in bot skill. The first time I played a match against bots, I decided to set the difficulty at ODST, assuming they would be competitive, but not too challenging. I mean, not for me, right? A grizzled Halo veteran of 2 decades of Halo PvP. Well, within 30 seconds at the start of a Slayer match in the sun-baked New Mombasa Street Market at the center of the arena map Bazaar, I found myself in a classic Halo combat dance with a bot who did an alarmingly good job of sidestepping shots from my sidekick pistol and then dropped my shields with a well-thrown frag grenade. As I retreated from the market through an archway, peppering the bot with a few more rounds, I thought, no worries, I'll just crouch behind one of these big wooden doors and wait for my shields to recharge. Because I'm pretty sure this bot won't be smart or brave enough to, at which point the bot sprinted through the door, clocked my position, and finished me off with 2 very confident blasts from his Bulldog shotgun. So yes, as we mentioned earlier, be prepared. So, some more examples of bot behavior. ODST and Spartan bots will effectively dodge grenades and rockets, and recruits and Marines will not. All bots use equipment, and higher level bots will grapple shot to you to finish you off with a melee kill. I've seen them do this with energy swords, which is amazing and terrifying. Bots keep track of power weapon spawns and sprint to claim them, but most importantly, bots are fair. We don't change their health and damage values per difficulty level. They just get smarter and more resourceful the higher you go. And that's exactly what we're going to do in our tech preview flight. Start the bots on Marine difficulty and then let you work your way up to Spartan. Good luck. We hope you have a blast. And as always, we sincerely appreciate your support. Dude, man, that all sounds really cool, man. Like, I remember back in Halo 5 when it first launched, I was honestly overwhelmed with the amount of things that you could do. And I could barely remember which buttons to press for things like thrust, ground pound, sliding. Like, there were so many things going on, you know, plus having to get familiar with the map layouts, all the callouts, all while trying to get kills and not die. Like, it was, honestly, it was a lot. So to be able to have 4v4 matches against bots like this with increasing difficulty over time, it's going to be really nice to be able to ease into all of Infinite's new map layouts and new mechanics, like all the equipment and the new ping system, not to mention all the new weapons as well. So I think it's really cool, man. Another really cool thing about this is actually Unishek tweeted out that with us playing 4 players instead of the normal 8 in each of the matches, 343 is actually going to be able to get double the amount of data that they need in order to make adjustments, which is actually really, really cool. So finally, the question everyone has been asking, when can we play? Well, we still don't actually have a concrete date. But in the blog, 343 did say that it could be as soon as next weekend, which is both exciting And kind of a bummer that we still don't have an exact time and date. Like, do we need to cancel plans that we don't have for next weekend or not? So, I don't know, guys. Like, I really was hoping we get some concrete times, but no. As early as next weekend is all that we know so far. But they did also say that they'll be doing a live stream of the build and will let us know what's up beforehand. That will about do it for today's video, guys. The first Halo Infinite flight will be a small preview focusing on the technical back end. We'll be playing 4 human players versus bots with increasing difficulty over time, and we'll be able to check out some of the new customizations and the credit system on the Waypoint VNext app. Are you guys pumped? Are you worried? Are you signed up for the Insider program? Are you sure? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Rapskying out.